the second time in 3 weeks. The football team's looking to sweep for the second straight season, while the Cowboys seek their 8th win in the last 12 meetings. It's NFC East football on Sunday night.
Well, the roof is closed, but as you can probably tell, the mouths of these Cowboy fans could not be more wide open. It is a frenzied AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D, as their guys will do battle with the Washington football team. Brennan Gaud alongside Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Cowboys in this matchup, you figure they've got to be looking forward to this one. They've got a clear advantage on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and they totally understand it, not just by running the numbers, but those numbers do play into it because you've got one of the better passing offenses in the league, a top 10 unit, going up against one of the poor defenses in the league. So I think we're going to see these guys take some shots downfield. But right from the start, I expect them to attack and get right after them.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This is Tony Pollard. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Prescott looks to throw on first. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. So a glance here at the key inactives. There's other reasons, but this list, one of the reasons they've been struggling some this year.
And one that they won't make excuses with, but everyone knows that this is the key reason. Without these players, it's made it very difficult for them this season. They've battled, they've scrapped, but without those guys, hard to win games.
Open man is Noah Brown. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Here's Prescott. He finds his man, complete. That's Schultz. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing, Prescott. He finds his man, complete. It's Brady. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And this is caught at the 8. They'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. A give to Elliott. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. The numbers for Zeke from last week, just downright unbelievable. I mean, when you amass that many yards, I don't know what else to say.
Personally, I thought it was a game for the ages for him. Ripped off some long runs in that contest, didn't he?
He did indeed. Some very long runs, and that total, scary. this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Dalton Schultz, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Zerline good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Washington offense ready to take over, and you see Taylor Heineke at the helm in his second season with the football team.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
Rolling to it, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Randy Gregory in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there in the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night long.
Well, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play.
To try again after the sack. Heineke, and they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Officially got to be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that number 1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, it's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that number 1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through. I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Well, kind of a quirk in the schedule. These two division rivals didn't see each other much of the year. Their first meeting was just a few weeks ago, back in Week 14. And it was the Cowboys winning on the road, so they look for the sweep here back home in Arlington. A first down carry by Elliott. Broken tackle. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Prescott. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25.
Well, they use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
First and 10 at the 25-yard line. They'll run on first down. It's Elliott. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
A little juke. And he's going to be stopped close to the first down marker at Washington's 12-yard line. 17. On third down, Elliott. And he's got the first, but we also have a flag on the field. And they're already walking backwards. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Now Prescott. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Brady. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Here's Prescott. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. That's Daron Payne with a sack that time.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Prescott to throw it. They'll set up the screen to Elliott, and he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? To throw is Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that. And he is the NFC rating Offensive Player of the Week. You got to think, all the guys that take the field each and every week, that's not an easy award. Always has to feel good to grab it.
It has to feel great because it separates you, at least for a week, amongst your peers. And for him to separate again, he has to have the same type of a game. That means being explosive off the line of scrimmage and catching everything that comes his way.
So now Dak Prescott off, Greg Zuerlein on for the field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Zuerlein's kick is good. And that will make it 10-0 here in the first. So a touchdown on their opening drive and 3 more here, and it adds to their first quarter lead.
Yeah, everything's going according to plan so far because the offense has moved the ball, defense able to do their job, and here the special teams unit comes through with their contribution. A field goal to make it 10-0.
Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
The numbers on the ground for Gibson a week ago. 15 carries, 66 yards, and a touchdown.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
Heineke on 3rd and 2. Got a man open. It's Ricky Seals-Jones. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. You know, Charles, for this defense, look, it's no secret. You're facing a team that is really, really struggling. They haven't won in what seems like forever, but sometimes a desperate team can be a dangerous team, right?
You're exactly right about that, but they shouldn't be. When they're on that type of a losing streak, it's incumbent upon you to take charge of this game early and not give them any reason to hope. Get out and attack them and make sure you knock them back on their butts.
Well, these two teams, you might remember, met earlier in the year in Arlington with the Cowboys winning that ball game. So they are gunning for the sweep here in Dallas. Heineke now looking to throw on 1st down. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Gibson here running out of the gun. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. To throw is Heineke. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
On 1st down, Gibson. And down inside the 15 he goes. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
On 2nd and 10, Heineke. And it's caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
Let's go. First and goal, Washington.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. Gibson. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Antonio Gibson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And Washington able to make this a close game again. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Now Pollard. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
The RPO always puts the defense in a little bit of a predicament, but when it's Deke and Zach, that probably makes it extra tough, doesn't it?
Predicament. I like that word because when you look at it from the defense's perspective, hard to commit either way, right? Because if you do, you're over-committing. That's what they call a stressful situation. Many think that Dak should keep the ball more. Built so well, so solid, and running was a huge part of what he did at Mississippi State.
Prescott off play action. That one complete to Elliott. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be second down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher, 3rd and 6.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
The Cowboys on third down. They have been superb, 5 for 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Prescott. He finds his man, complete. That's Schultz. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Looking to throw. Prescott. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. 10th carry now for Elliott. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Prescott now. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. So now Dak Prescott off, Greg Zuerlein on for the field goal. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. Zuerlein's kick is up and through. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Taking it about the 1. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Heineke to throw it. He'll dump that off to Gibson, complete. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. They'll give him 4 yards there. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
To throw again on 2nd down. Prescott. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They'll run on 1st down. It's Elliott. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
The tackle made at the 40-yard line. A gain of 4 is now 2nd and 6.
Draw play. Elliott shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And he'll get it down to the play to the 37. 43 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. Prescott on 1st down. He finds his man, complete. It's Schultz. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Now back to the ground with Elliott. Pushes past him. Oh, fighting off the defender. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 7 yards left for 2nd down. Ball at the 10.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
The give is to Elliott. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down. And Zerline's kick is good. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Antonio Gibson and the Washington offense ready to go here once more. A 1,000-yard campaign in his sights, Charles, but needs a little bit of a kick here down the stretch to reach it.
And sometimes at this stage of the season, you're looking for that extra goal, right? That extra motivation to accomplish what you want, not just as a team, but as individuals. He's got to stretch a little bit to get there. That might be what they're talking about during the practice sessions in their meetings. Hey, we can still get this done. Let's go ahead and feed him the ball.
And the offensive line, I'm sure they're well aware of where he stands as well.
They are, and I think for them, it would be an even better accomplishment to get there now because it seems like a little bit of a reach.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Heineke. He'll check that down to Gibson out of the backfield. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 3rd down. Now Heineke. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
That's 3 sacks now. That's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now a fair catch taken just across midfield, maybe by a yard or two. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books. But it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. 76 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. Well, you don't become a 2-time rushing champion in this league without being able to shed some tackles, and Ezekiel Elliott does just that on this latest run.
Yeah, and that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way," and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 11. Now back to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Schultz. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A big connection on that one. 30 yards. He had 1 touchdown earlier, nearly a second one there.
Yeah, took a touchdown-saving tackle to keep him out of the end zone after a big play. Perhaps you go right back to him. Don't need the distance, but maybe he can pay things off after a big effort.
Elliott. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. second and goal. Prescott being chased out left. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Dak Prescott taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Now Zerline on and the extra point. And that will make this a 16-point lead. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it was all capped off by Dak Prescott, keeping it and taking it in on the touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Washington offense back out there. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun. Here's Heineke. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Got an open man. Finds Gibson. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Taking a shot for Samuel. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. To throw on 2nd and 10. Heineke. Throw right side, taken in by Gibson. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I don't like the angles that the tacklers came from on that play. They secured inside, took away the cutback. The sideline's there, so you can only go so far outside. And they were able to close in and tackle him for a loss.
Yeah, they used your boy over there, the 12th man. Sammy Sideline, right?
Sammy Sideline. You know something? He tackles pretty well, too.
He's tougher than an airport steak. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Dak and the Cowboys ready for their next possession. He's thrown for a touchdown. He also ran for a touchdown, so they have to count for a guy that can do a little bit of both.
And because of that, that puts a defense back on its heels. Because normally you just think, okay, he's going to throw the ball. Let's tee off, put a little extra pressure on him. But when he's able to either escape or run with the ball and design plays, that really changes what you try and do on defense.
Yeah, you certainly can't forget about the arm, that's for sure. Prescott looks to throw on first. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. And he's going to have the first down as they move into field goal range here at the 25-yard line. Prescott to throw it. He finds his man complete. It's Brady. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. A gain of 6 there on first.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
And again, it's Prescott. His throw caught right around the 6. And the Cowboys are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. Now Prescott. And this ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys would extend their lead here just before halftime.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Zerline now for the PAT. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taking it about the 1. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin our tour out at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Ryan Tannehill strong in the victory as it pushes his guys back above the 500 mark on the year. From there, we head up to Wisconsin to check out the Packers at home in Lambeau. And they were losers in that ball game to the visiting Cleveland Browns. Baker Mayfield, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. And finally, on Monday Night Football, no Ricky Williams, but it is the Dolphins and the Saints to wrap up Week 16 from the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Washington. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Heineke. His throw incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Looking to throw, Heineke. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Here's Tressway now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a fair catch taken here right at about the 40-yard line. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb. His 10th touchdown of the season, second of the game. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we could at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, and this is one of the best runs you'll see. A lot of times on these long touchdowns, you'll say he gets into the end zone untouched, but not here. He fought his way through contact, and it barely even registered. He just continued down the field all the way to the end zone.
In the next-gen stats, CD, it shows us he covered better than 20 yards after the initial contact was made. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. From the 22, Heineke. And this one is incomplete. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Heineke. That's out to the flat for Gibson. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here's Tressway now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. Out comes CeeDee Lamb and the rest of the Dallas offense. He's having a day here in quarter number 3. Over 100 yards, couple touchdowns. Every receiver's hope for when they head into that game in the National Football League.
And his team is loving what he's giving them. Of course, the yardage is terrific, but I think it's what you mentioned, the 2 touchdowns. That's the big one because he's paying off his results downfield.
And still more time here, 3rd quarter. We'll see what else he has in store for us. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over him, and they got there to break that one up.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Prescott. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Deron Payne, his 2nd sack of the night. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. To throw is Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
Here's Brian Anger now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense set to take over again.
They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
To throw is Heineke. Over the middle, he gets it to Gibson.
And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. It's caught. Humphreys. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a 1st down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here's a give to Gibson.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
And the play fake, and now Heineke.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Throwing, Heineke.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Cowboys have recovered. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. Now Zerline on to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
This taken in at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. And the Washington offense going back to work.
They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming to...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Micah Parsons able to record his 5th sack of the season.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Heineke's throw into the hands of McLaurin.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Heineke to throw it.
He's got his target. It's Humphries. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 41.
Here's Heineke.
Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty as a result of that hit there.
A handoff running left is Gibson.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Third and short yardage, Heineke. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
And this one is right through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Dallas offense set for this next drive.
And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays for one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Elliott going to get it again on 2nd down.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Prescott on 3rd and 2.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Here's Brian Anger now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return.
Let's go!
Another drive coming up for this Washington offense.
They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. On 1st down, it's Gibson. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 62 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
Antonio Gibson is an absolute dart with the ball in his hand.